I thought taking a week off was gonna work out well for me. You know, I'll have more time to work without being stressed. I'll have more time to rest my body so I'm not in pain all the time. Maybe I can see some friends or go to a show, you know, and I don't have to think about what I want to talk about that week. None of that happened. Not a single one of that happened. What I lacked in listening to new music and watching movies and all this stuff and having things to talk about here on the podcast, I made up for in anxiety attacks due to stress at work, pulling muscles in my ribs and back, 12-hour shifts with a migraine, and dealing with probably the worst cleanup I've ever had to do in the last 5 years. I say in the last 5 years because 6 years ago, we did something I don't think we're ever going to top. And that is somebody pooped on the escalator and it went through all the rings into the gears and the steps, and we had to scrub it all out of that. It took forever. It was gross as fuck. It's not going to get topped. But all of that is behind me. I'm feeling good today. I have music I want to talk about. I got movies I want to talk about. We got discussion topics to talk about. I got energy. I just bought a Keurig, so I'll be drinking coffee like a motherfucker. I was always kind of like, I'll just brew it at home. I got a French press. I got a pot of coffee, whatever. I don't need a Keurig, okay? You fancy future contraptions. And then I bought one, and I'm like, bro, I got a whole thing in a minute. I don't even have to wait. This is great. And now I feel like a bougie bad bitch. So I'm gonna chug this next half a cup and get the fucking ready over here. We got a lot of positive things to say about the music that came out in the past week or so. And I got some opinions on a new movie that apparently does not match the critics and shit online. Am I dumb? Do I have bad taste? Yes and yes. But we're about to kill some time, so get your fucking drinks, find a comfy place to sit, put in those headphones, and fucking listen. Let's go.
What you doing, son? Nothing. Just chilling. Killing. True.
My wife, she gets mad whenever I pee in the shower. But I can't really help it, you know? A little bit of pee always comes out when I poop. I mean, that's just...
It's time for movies. And this week is very much inspired by what I like to call the curse of Kilmurray. Because it seems every time that I really enjoy a movie that's not like a critically acclaimed movie, all the reviews on everything is negative as fuck. Which makes me question, do I just have shitty taste in movies? Am I dumb? Do I have no media literacy or something? I have no idea. But it happens so often that it's almost become a meme at this point. I look at the reviews before I even know what the fucking movie is about, and I go, oh, this is trash. I'll probably like it. And you know what? A lot of the time I do. Am I just surrounded by critics? Am I just friends with movie snobs? Yes and yes. But maybe people just don't know how to simply enjoy movies. As I said in other episodes, not everything needs to be layered. Nothing needs to be an onion, nothing needs to be fucking trauma dumping lasagna shit, where it's a layer under a layer under a layer under a layer, all supposed to be this deep metaphorical bullshit. Sometimes you just get a couple jump scares, see a cool character, enjoy a couple jokes. And that's all I'm looking for. Is it a good escape from reality? Yes? Cool, I dig it. I'm not looking for anything special. I'm not expecting this low budget, very minuscule release to be something life-changing. And a lot of people seem to be. They have their bar set so high after watching nothing but A24 and like Scorsese films and shit. And I guess that's what watching years and years of just trash will do to me. I simply just accept things for what they are. So we're going to be kind of combining two segments. The movie segment and the topic segment. Because they go hand in hand. It really leads one to the other. The movie I watched this week was the basis for the topic we will be talking about. And then I will end with another movie that works for this topic
this
as well.
week,
Sort of
I sat down and I watched new found footage horror movie, Dream Eater. And you know it's going to slap because it's named after a Pokemon move. Not a lot of other people thought that way. I saw it hyped up like a motherfucker on TikTok and Instagram. It had my interest peaked. But then, the moment after I watched this movie, I looked everywhere, and people were giving it 1 and 2 stars, saying that the acting was terrible, the camera work was not good. Homie, what do you expect from a movie that's supposed to be all hand cam and cell phone footage and security camera stuff? It's not going to be a cinematic masterpiece from the camera work. It's not. But I knew nothing about this movie walking into it besides that they're going to deal with some sort of sleepwalking and that it was found footage. And at just an hour and a half, roughly, give or take a couple minutes, I was like, this is perfect. I don't really enjoy too long of movies unless there's significant world building and character development. And I didn't think there was going to be in this because there's only like 2 or 3 people in the movie. And there's only really one set location. So how much really could they be developing? What this movie lacked in funds, in camera work, and cast, it made up for with just vibe. Just pure, unadulterated, unsettling dread. The first 20 minutes already had me going, oh, fuck. And then 10 minutes later, I think I said, oh shit, oh fuck, another 2 times, which is crazy. That's like 1 oh shit, oh fuck every 10 minutes, which is unheard of. The movie revolves around Alex and Mallory. A couple, I don't know if it's fiance or just boyfriend, girlfriend at this point, married couple. I don't really remember that aspect, but I know it's a love interest, they are a couple. And Alex has a little bit of something we call parasomnia, an extreme form of sleepwalking, where he talks, he walks around and gets into predicaments. And it was a problem before, but as him and Mallory, his significant other, head out to a remote cabin in order to kind of document these things and get away from city life and hoping that this all just helps out a little bit. It doesn't. In fact, it gets a lot worse and almost gets a little paranormal, cosmic horror-esque as these outbursts become more violent and loud and dark. And at times, Alex becomes animalistic, crouching on the floor, eating things with his hands, walking around, very uncouth. I don't want to give too much away, but Alex does a great job at just setting himself aside and embracing the fact that he is something else when he sleepwalks. It's almost non-human, but also very enigmatic, almost like he's under the control of something. Which brings me to my next part. The only bad thing that I can say about this movie, and it's only for a split second, literally like 1.5 seconds do you see this. There's just some weird CGI, weird being behind Alex at one point in this movie, which makes you believe that is the thing controlling all these problems with Alex in this movie. They only show it for a split second, so it's not even make or break. But in comparison to everything else in this movie, I'm like, everything is practical effects, everything is hand cam, all this stuff. So to usher in a completely different medium feel so mismatched. I didn't care for it at all. But holy fuck, did the rest of the movie turn the fuck up. It's like a race against time. There's drama. There's a little bit of blood, not much. So if you're squeamish and you don't like gore, this is for you. This reminds me a lot of the movie Scare Me, where it's a similar setting and it's only 2 people, sometimes 3 people, and they make the most out of the least. Which those kind of movies are slowly becoming like my favorite movies. Just how much can you make with as least as possible? Revealer had like 3 locations, but for the most part only 1, and like 3 cast members. Scare Me had like 4 cast members across the entire movie and only like 1 location. This has 2, maybe 3 people and 1 location. So yeah, it's intriguing. As soon as I know it's a low budget, like no cast member kind of movie, I'm like, I gotta see this. We'll gotta see how this stacks up to the heavy hitters. You can currently buy or rent Dream Eater on YouTube, on Prime, and if you have Apple TV, you can find it there too. I highly recommend this movie. I haven't given new horror movies that good of grades this year, and I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. But what do I know? As we've already established, I have shitty taste. Which brings us to the topic of the week. I asked on Facebook, I asked on TikTok, on Blue Sky, on Threads, every place that I'm on, and I asked them, what is a movie or movies that you love but seemingly everybody else around you dislikes? I had a couple answers, not as many as the last episode, but I got some good ones. So we're about to dive into that shit, see what I think of them, and just see how different everybody is. That's one of my favorite things about asking about movie stuff, is just how many different answers we get all the time. Okay, let's jump into this. First off, on TikTok, somebody says, Crow Salvation. I'll be honest with you, homie, I didn't even know that fucking existed. I thought there was like that original Crow movie, and then this new Crow movie with Alex Skarsgård. I thought those were the only 2 Crow movies. So I was like, it's okay, good and cringy. I know nothing about Crow Salvation. I might have to do my own due diligence and fire that up at some point in the next week. Maybe I'll get back to you. Maybe I won't. I probably won't. I forget about that shit. But looking by the pictures, it doesn't look the best. There's just something about the makeup on the character while they rock short hair, which does nothing for me. It looks very, very awkward. Also, why are crows bringing people back from the dead? It happened once, and now it's happening again. Are crows magic? I thought they just ate cigarette butts off the ground and shit. What the fuck? But I mean, there is Fred Ward and Kristen Dunst and Walton Goggins in this movie, so like, there's hope. There's hope. Like, at least the cast is stacked. If the cast was a bunch of actors that I did not like, and then the movie was essentially the same movie as before, and we got like a short-haired crow, I would have been like, nah, the critics are fucking right. This is ass. But maybe it's not so bad. A user by the name of Dr. Fingergun says Zack Snyder's Watchmen. I mean, I understand the ending was a little, like, complicated, and it's an arduous watch because it's 2 hours and 42 minutes. But, like, there's some fucking gold in there, and the acting is cool, and the cinematic stuff is cool, the cinematography is top-notch. Like, I don't know why people would hate this movie. My main problem was I felt like I was watching multiple movies because the pacing was kind of all over the place. Where I was watching this and I'm like, surely we're done, right? It's like 45 minutes in the movie. And it just felt like it went on forever. That being said, there's worse things that could linger. Because this was a masterpiece visually. And the idea was cool, especially not knowing anything about the Watchmen comics or any of that shit. I went into this almost completely blind, besides knowing that like 5 of my friends loved this movie. I didn't hate it, but yeah, I can see why some people wouldn't hate it, because, you know, things weren't exactly spoon-fed to them, and it's not like the length of a TikTok video. So yeah, I might have to rewatch that though. I remember liking it for what it was, but getting a little bored towards the end, and I think that's probably why I don't remember how it ended too much. I was probably just kind of checked out at that point. Over on Instagram, my boy Mike Sativa says, The Cat in the Hat from 2003. What a wild pick. I remember when this movie came out and I saw it, and I realized that The Cat in the Hat was Mike Myers. And only knowing Mike Myers from all the Austin Powers movies, because I loved those movies. It was like the only things that I actually had to watch at my mom's house. And then seeing him, and I'm like, who let this horny bastard around children? The movie was very unsettling. It was funny at times, and wacky, and I can totally see why children and the parents and stuff would love this movie. But not knowing Mike Myers from many other things was just a weird, like, culture shock almost. I'm like, I just know him from his endless crusades and battles of trying to get laid. And now we dress him like a cat and bring him around children. This is wild. Dr. Seuss and Austin Powers collide. But it was fun. It was fun. Definitely gets more hate than it deserves. But I wouldn't say it's a great movie. Jaden on Instagram says, I think I gotta go with Freddy's Dead. Is it good? No, not by a long shot. But I'll take it over the Dream Child any day. Because at least it knows it's a Looney Tunes cartoon. It isn't trying to sell you a message. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I haven't seen Freddy's Dead. I mean, honestly, I think I've seen maybe 4 Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And so I'm not the most, like, well-versed in order to tell you if it's good or bad in comparison, but I'll take a movie that knows what it is over a movie trying to be something else and totally disregarding the fact that it's some wacky bullshit. Also, Freddy is not dead. Well, the Freddy character that we see in the movies is not dead. The actual Freddy guy himself is dead. Because there's like 6 more movies after this shit. You fucking liars. Nothing more than lying liars lying through their lying hole. Don't talk to me like I'm a fucking child, okay? He's not dead. We get Freddy versus Jason like 10 years after the fact. But back around to me, because the final movie I want to talk about that I love completely, that everyone seems to boo-hoo and shit-talk about. And this is a wild poll. I don't even know if anybody who's listening to this, the 5 people listening to this, if they even saw this in theaters or after the fact at all, but I saw it in theaters, is Pan. The newer rendition of the Peter Pan story. It was so much different than all the others, with a wild cast and a wild soundtrack. And was all of it good? Of course not. Some of this was actually terrible, but a lot of the ideas were awesome. A lot of the execution was really cool, and a lot of these moments stuck with me, which is more than I can say with a lot of other movies. A lot of these movies I watch and I go, oh, that was nice. And I forget about it by the time I get home 30 minutes later. This movie, I saw back when it came out. I think it was like 10, maybe 11 years. I think it was 2015, honestly. And I still remember, like, the entire movie. Like, how can you forget all the children that were abducted flying into the mines that they're looking for pixie dust in? And they go through this tunnel and they hear chanting. They make it to this giant dune of rocks and sand and pixie dust. And there's just a sea of people. And all those people are chanting and singing Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Wild concept. It is a fucking moment. It is crazy cool. And then the character who plays Peter looks at the sea of people, hearing the chants, and utters the words, "Is this Canada?" What the fuck? There was really fun moments, like Hook facing off against the tribe members from Tiger Lily's tribe on these weird fucking bouncy floor things, and the guys just like jumping up and spinning on a pole and standing sideways. It was really fun. And then the very ending just destroyed me emotionally, which I'm not going to spoil because I do want people to check this out for themselves, because I do think it is worth the watch, despite many things being overacted and a handful of actors who you probably wouldn't have chose for a movie like this. It's very, very entertaining. It was dog shit ratings-wise. Like, it got a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes and 2.3 stars on Letterboxd, which is not good. That's what I give movies where I find them complete trash, but there's like one redeemable quality about it. There's more redeemable things with this movie, you fucking nutsacks. New music has been plentiful this year. Bands that we all loved coming back. Bands that we loved before that have been putting out consistent stuff have been doing some of the best shit they've ever done. And some bands who were not even on anyone's radar have stepped up and put out some class act shit that is definitely going to put them on the map. LILAC is a brand new band out of the West Virginia area featuring members of Sabella. Their newest song, I Destroyed My Own Home, recently came out this past Monday, and I'm impressed. This is a 1 and 40-second track, just nothing but straight fucking gas. This shit's got just incredible range vocally, from just real shrieky yells to just angry as fuck mids and highs sprinkled in there. You got like 3 different styles throughout this 1 and 40-second track. And if you're a fan of bands like Mugshot, Knocked Loose, maybe even Dealer, I definitely suggest following LILAC at LILAC Band on Instagram and all their platforms, following them on Spotify and YouTube, and keeping an eye on them. This is their first song they have out. Check out the entire thing. Much more will be out very, very soon. XveriteX out of Finland have just put out For a Scorn Forged Heart, which is just a collection of nearly perfect hardcore metal crossover tracks. This shit is like if Unearth and Earth Crisis had a baby, and that baby still maintained straight edge. The guitar work on this album is insane. The drumming is intense. Everything instrumentally just hits that mark. That mark for exactly what I was looking for when looking for new music. Vocally, it's good. It's nothing to knock your socks off. That's the thing with metal and hardcore music is A lot of them have distinct voices, but like 4 times as many of those people sound exactly the same as each other. So while the aggression is there and the aggression matches with the instruments so fucking well, it's nothing that stands out. It sounds like 20 other bands. But as a whole, XveriteX is incredible. And is definitely the soundtrack to just beating somebody's ass and turning them into a fucking bowl of Jell-O. I will be honest, when I first heard When Man Makes His Maker and I saw their logo, I looked at the logo and said, this has to be one of those AI-generated bullshit bands. And then I found out they actually had a catalog, and there were real people making the music. And I was like, okay, I'll give them a shot. What I got was a band that reminds me very heavily of Skeleton Witch. And that's a huge compliment. It reminds me of Skeleton Witch without consistently having to be very upbeat. Sound-wise, and when they are upbeat, very, very much Skeleton Witch. But when they slowed down a little bit more and they hit those breakdowns, they're very much their own thing. And I appreciate that. We need more of that. When Man Makes His Maker's new song Deceiver runs only at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, which a lot of bands in this genre feel like everything needs to be an epic. Everything needs to be like 6, 7, 8 minutes. Everyone trying to be Lorna Shore now. I personally don't fuck with anything more than 5 minutes. Because if you can't sell your song in under 5 minutes, it should just be 2 fucking songs. They did 4 minutes and 30 seconds, cutting it close, but not any point in time did this feel boring or like it was dragging on. Everything felt perfectly paced. Intros, the transitions between hard parts and melodic parts, vocal delivery, everything. So if you like melodic death metal, almost on the bridge of deathcore, definitely check out When Man Meets His Maker. I will say that after this 15-year hiatus, Drop Dead Gorgeous is putting out some of the best shit they've ever put out. Case in point, this new song called Sink Your Teeth. I mean, this is the perfect representation of this band. It's got the just right amount of all of their little things that they do. The singing, the breakdowns, the interludes, going into like the emo side of things and going into the more hardcore side of things. It's very, very well balanced. And while it may not be as catchy as songs like 6 Feet or something, it's fucking good, dude. I think the reason why I'm so impressed with this recent return of Drop Dead Gorgeous is because many bands, even if they've been away for 5 years, anything more than that, it's almost unheard of that they would come back even remotely close to how good they were in the past. You come back and it's like, oh, okay, cool. This is just distorted Nickelback. Oh, this is just another radio-friendly version of a band that I used to like. And then they come back and they do what they did before even better. It's like on their downtime, they learned how to play their instruments better. They honed in the craft of singing, and they got better and more precise with their drumming. And before, they were just incredible to begin with. Those hits back on the day, fucking hit, dude. And now they come back and they're like, hey, hold our beer. Hold our skinny jeans. Watch what we can do. Crazy. These 3 new songs that they've put out this past year are on even playing field to songs like Two Birds, One Stone, and Dress for Friend Requests back in the day. So, okay, I've done enough on gawking the Drop Dead Gorgeous dick over here. I just really think you guys should check that out. And as we move away from new music, I want to plug a couple shows where you could potentially find new music like that in a live setting. First of which, my boy Dying Star is playing in Salem, Massachusetts at Moonbase 1 on December 13th, and the lineup is pretty crazy as far as locals go. While it may not be metal like those other bands, this is heavy as shit, as we got Rehabilitation, Bad for Business, Brax, and my boy Dying Star, some hip hop that's influenced by heavy shit like metal and hardcore. These dudes bring the aggression, they bring that energy, they're in your face, you'll hear some yelling, you'll get that permanent stank face on your face, and you're gonna hold that shit the entire show so long it's gonna become your new fucking face, I guarantee you. Once again, it's December 13th in Salem, Massachusetts at Moonbase 1. Hit up any of the people involved for ticket information. Boston hardcore is back on the fucking menu, boys, as Risk, Living Weapon, Sin Against Sin, Never Back Down, and 50/50 Clown come to the Cambridge Elks Lodge in Cambridge, Massachusetts, December 18th. You might know Risk as being one of the most chaotic and prolific hardcore bands of modern New England scene, but Living Weapon is up there too. They've been kind of playing it off in silence, no new music in the last couple years, but these dudes are insane, featuring members of Vane and Fleshwater. Just their live performances are just something to behold. So if you want chaos, you want hardcore, you want to possibly get something thrown at you, you go to this show, Cambridge Elks Lodge, December 18th. And lastly, as far as the show announcements go, recently in my area, literally on the street that I live in and recording this podcast currently, there was a insanely big fire. Took out 2 buildings. It was a 6-alarm fire. And not only were many people displaced before the holiday season, a couple bands and a recording studio were completely just fucked over. Loss of a lot of instruments and gear, recordings, space. If it wasn't for the fire, it was for water damage. Luckily, the scene all came together, and a benefit show will be happening on December 21st at Bad Burger in Manchester, New Hampshire. This is stacked, and $20, all proceeds from the show. Every person that comes in, that money will be going directly to the bands and people affected by this fire. As I said, the lineup is pretty fucking insane when you consider the local talent on it. We got Southgate, we got Bambino, we got Lanterns, we got Fold, we got TFR, and we got Jesse Rootstein, who is an artist where every one of his songs were created and recorded at that venue that burnt down. Crazy. We got the hardcore, we got the metal, we got everything on this bitch. $20. The show starts at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be on Sunday, December 21st. Shout out to Angry Ginger Promotions and Bad Burger and NH Booking for putting this all together. Great fucking cause. I am told that there's also going to be a place either at the venue or at a local area that's tied to this show that will be taking donations as far as clothing and any other thing you want to donate to families who have just lost their home. Gotta love when the scene comes together. It's sad that they had to come together, but the fact that they did warms my heart this holiday season. And lastly, before I let you go, there is new music on the horizon for Kill Murray. I just put out my 3rd album recently, back in October, and I am working on 2 or 3 more songs to put like a mini EP out. Things that are slightly outside of what you normally hear when listening to Kill Murray. Everything beforehand was very much sad boy or anti-government. These songs are going to be just straight up fucking bars, showing different vocal techniques, rhyme schemes, all that stuff.
maybe a couple features. I haven't really dove too far into who I would like to ask because I don't have a timetable, but I know that I'm working on my parts for this and I'm making them as good as they can be. So very, very soon, I would say in the next 3-4 months, there will be some new stuff, and you might even hear some of these things live if you check out my upcoming shows. Now, as far as upcoming shows for me, I have a Christmas party going down at The Spot in Nashua, New Hampshire, December 19th. It is myself, it is Kava, it is Lil Hart, it is J Vibe, it is Pens and Pencils, and it is Dante the Rascal. It is being co-hosted by Bars Over Bars. It's gonna be a great fucking time. We got hip hop, we got karaoke, and we got supporting small businesses. And the next show after that, only one that I got confirmed, is the 26th of January, I believe it is. And it is going to be in Boston at Midway Cafe for Great Vibes Entertainment. I will give you more information as it comes to me. So keep an eye out for more shows. And if you check out these new shows, you're going to probably hear some new music. So just a reminder. Thank you for your support. The Bars Over Bars Awards are coming up very soon. I will talk more about that on all of my socials. I will provide links if you want to throw me a vote for Best New Hampshire Artist and Best Lyricist. Those are 2 categories I am put down for, so please show your support and support all the other great artists that are not me in other categories. But vote for me for those fucking categories. Alright, peace.